Hello, welcome to the Echo Tips podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about a matter which many have been concerned with over the past few months with the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic, and that is, what if you don't feel too well? I know with me, it's allergies this time of year often, but let's say you did have some sort of symptoms or you had a concern. Well, did you know you can access some resources that are supported by the CDC through Amazon on your Amazon Echo? They give you some helpful feedback about symptoms and maybe triaging whether you do in fact have the coronavirus. So today we'll talk about that in this episode. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of that, we're going to go to a brief message about our podcast, and then I'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by the New Vision program at Goodwill. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission services help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Well, hello again and welcome back. In today's episode, as we mentioned earlier, we're going to be dealing with a unique feature of the Amazon Echo that helps during this current pandemic to isolate symptoms, and it relies on a trusted source. Here in particular in the United States, this skill or this feature of the Amazon Echo was developed between Amazon working in harmony with the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control. And you may find this skill or this feature on your Amazon Echo if you're in another nation, and they might be very likely they have been working with other health departments and resources around the world to get the current information from your own health department and advice. Now, in particular, as I mentioned earlier, I suffer from allergies this time of year, and many people we have the summer cold and things like that. But if you were concerned, obviously, about maybe having the symptoms, this feature was specifically developed with that kind of thing in mind to help people be informed. Now, before I get into that, I want to just say, if you're listening for the first time, it's a pleasure to have you with us here today. I'm David Ward. I'm an assistive technology instructor with the New Vision program at Goodwill. And we're glad to have you here with us, hoping that you'll continue to listen to our episodes and find them informative. If you've been listening for some time, we really appreciate your listenership, and we encourage all of you to upvote us in your podcast player of choice, or on the Apple iTunes podcast forum, or to subscribe to our podcast. That's another way that you can help us out, and we're always happy to hear your feedback on Facebook and Twitter as well. Okay, so let's get right into this material. It's pretty straightforward, and so I don't trigger the echo, I'm going to say the A-lady name and not trigger yours at home as well. But you can phrase this two ways. You can either say COVID-19 or you can say coronavirus. In either case, it will be effective. And so let's get right to that now. And if you are listening to this demonstration in a room that does have another echo, you may want to mute their ears so that I'm not triggering your echo while you're listening to this podcast. Now, if you're listening to this episode on your own echo, that's really not going to be a concern. It won't hear itself, as it were. But if you had another one in hearing distance, you may want to shut its ears off. Oh, and I got electronics beeping at me here. Anyway, so briefly, I just give you a second to do that, and that is a button on the top of the Pringle can Echo, or the Dot, that has a little silhouetted microphone with a slash through it, and on the Echo Shows, or the ones with the screens, there's a row of buttons along the top rim of the glass if it's facing you, and it should be the button on the far left. So I'll give you a second to do that, and hopefully you've had time to do that. Okay. All right, so let's give it a try. And as I said, you can use COVID-19 or coronavirus in this query. All right, let's give it a shot. Alexa, what do I do if I think I have COVID-19?
If you're concerned about COVID-19, I can ask you a few questions based on CDC guidelines to help you understand your risk and make a decision about seeking medical care. Do you have a few minutes for this?
Yes.
Before we get started, if you have a medical emergency, call 911 now. This is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical attention and shouldn't be used for children under 2 years old. Do you want to continue?
Yes.
First of all, do you feel sick?
No.
Do you live with someone who has or is believed to have COVID-19?
No.
In the last 14 days, have you had close contact within about 6 feet with someone who has or is believed to have COVID-19?
Alexa, stop. Okay, so I didn't take that to its total conclusion and go through everything, but you obviously see how it works. It triages symptoms and circumstances, and of course, as I said, they worked with the CDC on this, and so it helps you, and it has that nice, caveat at the beginning, which we should mention as well. Obviously, if you are feeling poorly and the like, you should consult a medical professional, and perhaps even emergency services. But yeah, it gives you a little idea, and it can give you some feedback about symptoms and things like that. So pretty cool, and just thought we'd mention that in this episode. So we once again appreciate your listenership. In our episodes to come, we will be addressing some future topics again we're going to revisit echo setup in kiosk situations like at assisted living homes. But we're going to be tackling a lot of other neat material as well. So stay tuned, and we look forward to you listening with us again. Until that time, it's time to unmute your microphone on your Echo, start practicing some of the many things that you've learned, and we thank you for listening.
Thanks, Dave. In conclusion, let me tell you a thing or two. This episode is brought to you by New Vision at Goodwill Industries of the Valleys, and it is also made possible in part by a grant from Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. And there's more. We're also grateful for the kind use of WVTF Studios. New Vision is a program of Goodwill that provides information services and assistive technology training to individuals with visual impairments living in Southwest Virginia. For more information, check out our website at goodwillvalleys.com/newvision, with no spaces. Goodwill Industries of the Valleys is a nonprofit organization serving the New River, Roanoke, and Shenandoah Valleys of Virginia. Goodwill's mission programs help individuals with disabilities and disadvantages to get back to work and gain greater independence. These shows are provided for educational purposes. This podcast may not be retransmitted, sold, or reproduced without written permission from New Vision. Thanks for listening.